All right. So I wanted to give some analysis in this video that might help you in your trading today, this week. Look at the situation on the charts. If you're studying my course, learning my method, here is something in real time, Tuesday, January 18th. Some real-time analysis and get caught up in what are we looking at right now. Also, first to mention, there is the live sessions are going on again. So we start 30 minutes into London session, and if you're unfamiliar, I give live analysis. We look at real-time situation on the chart, talk about what's going on, and it's a live lesson and any trade opportunities that may come about, and complete analysis of everything and understanding and applying my method in real time. So there's that if you want to join. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 30 minutes into the London session, we do 3 hours a day. So I'll put the link in the description for that. Come join. Seeing it in real time, being able to ask questions about my method, everything you see in my videos, might be something good for you. So I should have cleared my throat before I hit record. All right, I'm good now. So looking at this week, there's a common theme going on, and I want to point out and get caught up in the analysis. Now, remember, the euro dollar is what we're looking at. That euro dollar was stuck in this range for all of December. We finally got out, which we knew if you were attending the live sessions, that we saw the strength and demand coming in and saying, yeah, this thing's going to break to the upside. And we, were able to predict that in real time based on what was going on in our analysis, take advantage of things. We made a really nice breakout here, surprisingly, because maybe it was going to trend upward from there. It was very strong. Luckily, it's come back this far where it's tested the old top of the range, a break test continuation of this range here. So I marked the top of the range there. We broke out here, and we actually came back to test it and revisit that level. Now, the break test continuation pattern in and of itself, which is not something alone to trade on, but is a very common pattern, projects that. So that's the pattern as far as breaking out. And if you want to call this, it was a range for a while, but it turned into, again, we saw that you can see this stuff, go back and see that it did turn into accumulation. After we got past, Christmas and New Year's, the strength down here in the building up of long positions became apparent. So then we say, okay, now we're in actually accumulation. It may look like the same range that we've been in, but we knew it was accumulation. And then going into markup here, right, from accumulation phase, marking price up. And now we're in markup, right? And now coming back, these retracements, and if it does want to continue the trend, retracements become buy opportunities. And this pattern itself, and even if you're looking at a 5-minute chart, we see this pattern all the time. Now, let's confirm, let's go to the 1 hour where I like to get my background volume. And again, here's coming out of the range. And this is universal analysis. It is going to be different patterns or different situations, but generally the US dollar is driving this. And again, actually, the situation where it's weak. So therefore, things are going to tend to be strong against it and correlated. So if you look at the background activity, basically on the dollar pairs, but let's stick to the euro dollar, and looking at the high volume points and all that. Fake break pattern here potentially, and we'll get into that. But euro dollar, we see, again, breaking out of this range, and the high volume, let's just go over the high volume points in our background, right? So the high volume breakout initially into markup, right? That resulted in higher closes, right? There's no fake breakout. There's no weakness confirming. We break out, we close near the high. Higher closes, right, to follow the 1 hour chart. And that's how I confirm my background. So no weakness was confirmed here. And as I say, once these higher prices became accepted on regular volume, we really know there's not supply around high volume selling coming in here. And we actually know it's likely going to be a successful markup. So in that few hours, I told you that. And looking for longs after that, right? Now, coming back, we've seen demand coming in here. Again, on the break test continuation pattern, And let's see where the high volume is. Well, I don't want to skip this. So this was, I think it was on news. This was really a mix of buying and selling up here. But typically, and this is a way to understand what went on here, these higher prices were seen for hours this day. And was there weakness in selling coming in? Remember all those long positions built up in the accumulation, the markup, lots of buying to the left. Did they get out of those positions at this price area? No, the volume's too low. It's not showing weakness coming in. And this, yeah, it's on news. It's high volume. It sort of covers this whole area. It's not just, weakness coming in at a high price. And the result was sideways, which is very telling that really it's just a mix of buying and selling. And it's not a situation where we're necessarily, I'm confirming this as weakness. I did not, as far as looking to sell the next day or something. Now, it dropped good because really this gives opportunity to buy. But besides this, news volume, no result, mix of buying and selling. We don't see profit taking right here. We don't see weakness. So they're holding on to these long positions. Now, looking at the high volume here, this is all into lower prices. And there was a lot of selling and a lot of buying here. But we bottomed out after that high volume and created, and we're still fairly high down here, excessive volume on this move in both directions. Certainly buying came in, starting from this price area. So we could say, 44-ish, 44.40, down to the bottom. All in this area has buying into it. And again, we look at the smaller time frames too to confirm it. If we look here, the highest volume yesterday was here off the low price with an upward reaction, just a bit. And then here, again, there's a fake break pattern and a retest of that resistance turn support. And that volume is unusually high for the time of day. This was yesterday at the same time. So it's normally very low. And you see a sign of strength here confirming, again, 1 hour chart showing strength. High volume for the time of day. If we look at the 5 minute, that really clarifies because we saw, okay, this high volume on that 1 hour chart. What exactly happened on that volume here is the test of the old resistance turn support, showing we did get buying there. We'll go into today how it may set up for opportunities. If we go to yesterday, right, it really stands out that the high volume is actually sign of strength, fake breakout in this general area, and leading to higher prices as a result, coming in at lower prices. Demand, they're buying on the way down, right? We see it here. And where's the weakness on this chart? Yesterday, it's nothing. No high volume weakness. Again, even here, that's a lot of activity here where the down moves, because we're trending down, right? And that gets stopped on high volume. It's buying into this price area. That's the same 41.40. And yeah, it continued down and to get stopped on some buying there. So they're accumulating once again. That's what this chart is saying. And where's the weakness, right? It's not there. Where would the weakness be? Here, and selling into the higher prices, right? Pretty quiet up there. Not much going on. So it's those lower prices consistently being bought into. Weakness coming in here, not so much. But here, this buying here, you get the lowest price you've seen in a while. And obviously some buying. And a lot of this stuff, again, it's in the same price area, 14.40. A lot of this, so like I say, where's smart money positioned from? We just looked at the price area. In what direction? Long. Are they building up positions? Are they getting out? They're building up in this price area. And, a lot of these positions are in drawdown, if you think of it that way, as far as accumulating at a low price. Then it goes lower and they buy more. Then it goes lower and they buy more. So that's the position they put themselves in right now, buying into these down moves and generally this price area being long. Now, if it's going to come down, we'll talk about a couple of options here. If it comes down and does a fake break overshoot and again shows strength, right, it's confirming the situation. So getting back below here, yeah, it happens. Overshoots happen all the time. Fake break, double bottom, right? The main thing is to see, again, on the 5 minute, that buying coming in. If it actually gets into this area and there's no real demand and rejection of these prices, then it failed. It's a failed markup. It happens, right? And it would say, don't buy. So getting down here is one option to be able to see dipping into this area, be able to see rejection and demand and coming back above this level again, right? Making sure you're out of that old accumulation range that is down there. And also confirming just the fake break pattern on the bottom by coming back above. So if that gets rejected on demand, even from, spiky volume stuff on the 5-minute chart, then from there, I would consider looking for entry there. Really good risk reward, right? Insanely good. Because if we're coming back into the old range, I don't want to be in this long trade. But if we look at it, right, what's reasonable on targets, really this, but, for the day, for the next couple of days, should easily get to this point. If not, here by the end of the week. But again, smart money has put themselves in this position of being long through here. If they dump it, you'll know it. It'll get back down here and you won't be seeing the signs of demand. And it'll say, do not get long, right? But, to understand that they're in this position right now. So no matter what happens, it's in that context. But, high probability to move up. And any further down move here would be rejected and bought into. Especially, obviously, down here. To keep the pattern. And again, if you just go to the 5-minute chart, you see that it's, right, this is the pound, which is very similar, pound dollar. And the point is that the US dollar and the yen are both, in this position where they are both potentially weak. That's why these are potentially strong against them. So it doesn't really matter where you go. I guess we could go to the pound yen. And again, all the high volume points are just at the lower accumulation, buying strength sort of stuff. Today is a little wacky. Not much result. But again, the traditional thing is to look for these down moves and strength today to look to buy. If we start trending up and there's really no supply coming in, there's another option to get in that way. So if you're learning my method and doing this stuff, hopefully that was your analysis where you did the simple break test continuation thing here, the fake breakout stuff. Again, maybe another fake breakout. It did it here. It could do it again. It could do it again. But the main thing is to see that buying, right? 5-minute showed it. 5-minute will show or not and tell you what to do today. If it starts to mark up and just trend up, there's ways to do that. Making sure supply is not coming in and seeing where you want to put your stop. My scalp entries also. But that is our background. We'll see how that plays out. What else? So that's it. At least I wanted to give that analysis. That applies generally to a potentially bullish environment here. Watch the low prices, see if that demand still comes in. The moves tend to be playing out in U.S. session, and it's not even London open yet on Tuesday. So maybe we'll hang out down here and then do it later. All right. So again. Live sessions are back. I'm going to be starting in an hour today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, at 30 minutes into London session. So all this stuff we'll see and follow up on in real time if you're there. All right, guys. Have a good one.